Hello, all. Windwalker here. Today I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a new game that's been released by Sony. It's a old PlayStation game that's been ported over to the PCs, just released on PC yesterday. So it's called Days Gone. The reason I'm doing this video is to go over all the problems that this game has and the absolute nightmare of even getting it to start. So first thing I was going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to hop into the game, see if it'll fire up for us. So we'll start the game. And we'll see what we get here. Sony Interactive presents. Get a nice flash screen. Note there's sound also going on. Oh, wow. Poof. Gone. Game just crashed. So that's kind of the standard problem that I fought for a lot of the day. I will also start by saying I've updated all of my drivers. We're talking Nvidia graphics card drivers to the brand new driver that they put out today, theoretically for this game. I've also gone through my BIOS, made sure it was up to date. I've gone through my sound card. I've gone through and did my firmware on my sound card, my firmware on my USB headset, all of that stuff and all these drivers. None of it helped with this game at all. Now, I have figured out how to get the game working. So one of the things I can tell you, like right now, you saw me start this game and it crashed. I've already got all the fixes in, but now at this point, every time if I restart my computer, I start the game up and it crashes, and then I can start it up again, and it should go on and go in through. What we're going to do at this point is I'm going to let the game go ahead and start up. We're going to try and start the game, and we'll get in, and we'll actually see that, my lord, the game doesn't even load sound files. So we've got sound now. Everything's working. And we get in here into the game, and once we get to our press next button that's coming up here, we'll try to actually load this game and have it work. We'll see what we get. So I've already come in, I've gone into options and said all of those things. Audio is turned up, all of that fun, neat, nifty so-called stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's start a new game. We'll start on normal. So we'll fire this guy up and we'll see what we get here. And what's been happening for me is when the game starts up here, it's going to be at a kind of a movie scene at the start of the game. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, there is no subtitles playing. Nothing. We hear nothing from it. So yeah, absolutely no sound. There's really no point in me continuing showing this mess. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. We'll quit back to the desktop. Now, what I am going to do, and bear with me so I can get until I can get back to being able to actually say something and you guys can hear something, but I'm going to unplug my headset. And I'm going to basically just leave my lovely little speakers that are plugged into the computer plugged in. So bear with me just a sec. Let me do that. And what I'm going to do is start the game up. Once I get back into the game and start to that same cut screen that didn't work, I'll plug my headset back in and it should start working at that point in time. But it's the only way to make it work, and I have to do it every single time I start this game. So unplugging my headset now. All right. Now you notice we've got sound. The other thing that I would seriously want to point out here to everybody is we've also got subtitles that didn't even show previously when it wasn't playing sound. So clearly the game did not even load the sound files because generally, if you unplug your speakers and a sound file is loaded, you'll still get your subtitles on the screen. There was no subtitles. So the game doesn't even load sound files if you have a nice, decent USB headset that you plug into your system and try to use. You literally have to totally unplug it, and you have to do that every single time you start the game. I am going to go ahead and just exit on out of this game because basically I'll be returning it before I get to my 3 hours. But I did kind of want to give you all an idea that it's a pretty messed up at this point. I'm going to open this here up, which is a post I put into Steam trying to help other players out and give you an idea of what all I've done to my machine to be able to get into this game and just to get it to run. So not only did I either update and or validate, and most of my drivers are already up to date, my Windows is fully up to date, all of that fun stuff. So we're talking turn off Steam overlay, had to go in and turn off GeForce overlay. I had to go in whitelist in my antivirus program, which for me, I use Norton. I had to unplug my internet cable. And I also had to put in startup commands to force the game to start in Windows mode with no border. That actually got the game to finally fire up after doing all of this crud, whatnot, and that allowed the game to start. And then I got all the way in where I can get to the menus and whatnot like that. I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go in and set myself to full screen. I set the graphics to full screen, and at that point, you got the lovely resolution has changed. Would you like to accept the new value? And it's got the countdown timer on it, and it goes through at that point, and every time you click OK and then you try to click off of that menu, it re-asks you again. You've changed the resolution. Do you want to save it? Multiple times, just over and over and over and over. Finally, I just was able to just quit the game, get out of the darn thing, so I can get rid of that. But bottom line, after it started that one time, with having done all of this stuff, um, I was then able to literally start going in and making changes to put my machine back to the way I want it, which would be pretty much I went out of the game and I removed the startup settings that were forcing it into that Windows mode and whatnot. Game still starts after that. I plugged in internet. It still started after that. At this point, I've even turned on my GeForce overlay. Of course, I'm using that to record this video at this point in time. So the game itself had some just serious issues, and it was after doing all that. That was just getting the game started, and then I found out I have absolutely no sound using my USB headsets. And I've got a pretty good USB headset. I've never had an issue with it before, and now all of a sudden this game won't work with it. So, for me, I'd recommend that anybody start with, at least try making sure you whitelist it in your antivirus program, and likely do the window no border and see if the game starts. You may not need to go through and do all these other things that I did, but I kind of tried these one by one in the order that you see listed here. And it would not start until I did all of them. I have not, turned on my Steam overlay yet. Of course, the game's still whitelisted. All of those things had to be done to get this game to even function. And still at this point, as you saw when I first started this video, if I restart my computer, I have to start that game and it's going to crash on the first time. After that, it will fire back up, and function. Now, as far as I know, I haven't actually tried, so we'll try again real quick. But I don't think starting the game, we'll see if my headset continues to work or if it just pure crashes. Either way, I'm not going to switch away from my headset here. I'll be right back with you, and we'll probably be ending this video. I don't need it to be a long video, but bottom line, there's certain people in on Steam basically throwing out there that people have no idea what they're doing, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this game. I'm sorry, but out of the over 600 games that I have on Steam, this is the worst I've ever had to mess with a game to make it start, which to me is pretty pathetic. So, I don't know if the game's real good. I haven't actually played it. But let's see if I have sound now, if it remembers, or if the game's totally forgot that I have sound and that my headset works. This will actually be the first time I've tried this with you guys. So, but bottom line is Days Gone is a game that has some serious problems. Now, there we go. See, no sound. We also still have no subtitles going. So, to me, it's not even loading sound files. If it loaded the sound files, we should at least be seeing those subtitles playing. So the game has some very serious issues on the PC. And at this point, a lot of what you see in the forums is people saying, "You're nuts. There's nothing wrong with the game." Well, I don't know. My particular specs on this are I run a i7 9700K. I got an RTX 2080. That's got 8 megabytes or 8 gigabytes of RAM for the graphics card. I got 32 gigabytes on the system. I run a Windows 10 X64 that's fully updated and up to date, ready to go. So, I should not have any problems running this game, but yet, as you can see, it has problems left and right. So, anyways, that's really all I had for you all. Y'all have a great evening. Y'all stay safe. Windwalker out.